just want to say that was super rude of you to walk away from me earlier.
Talking to the New York State champion, you're going to have to pay up.
You take Kale?
Dude, goodbye.
Whipwreck, Cation, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No. You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about people.
Dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am fearless princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
Finisher is called the Shadow Band, and I was like, that's kind of.
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great.
Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Denk, and let me bring to you my very special guest, the one, the only, Mason Shadows. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
I'm not bad, not bad.
Good. Now, let's talk about at the last SWA show, man. It was your last match. Can you let everybody know how that came about?
Hold on. Oh, there we go. How it came about. Wow. Well, was it last Wrestle Hell? I believe. No, it wasn't last Wrestle Hell. It was sometime last year.
Okay.
I went up for my patent moonsault. We were facing the Graveyard Disciples. I tweaked my knee. I ended up needing surgery on my knee. Ended up tearing my meniscus. I was out probably till September, I believe. And then that's when we went up against Gangone and Flyer for the championships the first time.
Right.
They ended up beating us. Yada, yada, yada. And then pretty much from there, it was basically, I would say, the start to me knowing it was my time to leave. So it was a long and it was an emotional roller coaster for me, because I mean, at this point, this Wrestle Hell it was just 20 years. I had just made the 20-year mark probably like a week prior.
Right.
And now that's between, obviously, like everyone does, the backyard and indie and this and that and pro shows and backyard shows and all that crazy stuff. But 20 years total. I mean, I've been doing it since I was 15 years old, and it was something that I always loved to do. So it was very hard to leave.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Serena says hi. Hi, Serena.
Hey, hi, Serena. Sorry about last week, by the way, because totally thought I responded to her. I never responded to her. I came home and went, "Oh crap!" So
Don't worry, it
was
happens
just
a lot.
very big miscommunication.
It happens a lot. No worries. All right, so tell me about your emotions in that last match before we go into your history.
I don't even know. I really can't even really fully still digest the emotional roller coaster I was dealing with. Knowing that that match was my last match. Win, lose, draw. What up, Jordan?
Jordan.
Former tag team partner of mine.
Gotcha.
So like knowing that it was my final match, obviously win, lose, draw. I knew it was my last. I knew it was going to be the last time I heard the 3 count. I knew I was going to be the last time I'd hear our music.
Right.
I knew it was the last time with Rage and Chaos and all of the awesome fans at SWA. And it captivated me because I got to relive basically my childhood.
Right.
It was fun. It was fun again, and I stepped out, and I know you were there at the show. My wife was there. My whole family was there. Everyone. Yeah, everyone was there for me. time, my first tag team partner, Zach, was there. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Oh, wow.
So that whole him running in with the chair, I had no idea that was all happening. None of that was known to me. None of that, my wife surprised me. Malloy helped with all of it. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
just, it was my final thanks from them. But it's just, I'm still at loss for words because I still got to live out a dream of mine.
Yeah.
I started wrestling when I was 15, and I mean, at one point, I wanted to go all the way. I did. But priorities when you're 15 years old are so much different than when you get older.
That
So
is true.
I started getting older, and I started thinking, well, do I want to do this? Do I want to be on the road so much? Do I want a family? Do I want this? And it's like my love and passion for wrestling was always there, but I also wanted a family. So I didn't want to sacrifice that for my family, but but at that point I was like, do I want to sacrifice the family and do this? Like, so it was torn.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I had years and years and years and years thinking about it. And then I finally got married last October. I hurt myself last year. And then that was the eye opener, which like, well, I'm married. Now I want my family. Now I have the chance to have a family. And now I wanna be able to play with my kid. The
Right.
chance I have a kid. You know what I mean? I want to be able to play with my kid with no pain.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna have pain. Wrestled for 20 years. I'm always gonna have pain. But if I could prevent pain as long as I can, I will. And that's my mindset.
Now, do you still feel that pain from your years of wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow back pain, some neck pain here and there. I mean, I go to a chiropractor twice a week.
Okay.
So like, is it there? Yeah, my pain will always be there. It won't be it's not as bad now, but I know once I get older,
It'll bother you.
it's inevitable. It's gonna be there. But yeah, so that's essentially why I stopped. But like, I remember I had work that day at my job,
Mhm.
and I think I wasn't myself. I'm normally cheery and happy and messing around with everyone at work, and I'm
Right.
close with everyone. And that day I was just closed, quiet. No one knew there. There's a lot of people I work with come to the shows, but none of them knew. I knew, but I couldn't say to them, "Hey guys, listen, pow."
This is the end.
So I had that in my head all day. I was tearing at work all day. I was by myself. I didn't stay with many people at work, but like the ride from work to the show was horrible. I was crying. I was thinking. At this point I was texting my brother, my first tag partner, not realizing he was with my wife, but like saying, "Man, I thought I could get through this without you, but I couldn't." So it was as obviously I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
It was rough.
It's an emotional thing.
Yeah, it really was, and it's hard to think that something this not small, but something like this is so big to people, and it's huge to me, and it's been my life since I was 15. So
Right.
it's leaving it is really really hard.
Man, what did Rage say to you that night?
So Rage is known. Me and Rage had talked about it. It wasn't one of those things. So I had initially said to myself back then, and I'll bring my mother into this. I always said to my mother, I'll know when it's time. Because you do. You don't want to carry on and keep doing and this and that, and you don't want to do it to where you get to the point where you don't recognize who you are wrestling anymore.
Mhm.
And I never wanted that to happen. So I always said I'll either I'll wrestle until I hurt myself relatively seriously, or I'll know when to leave. Well, both of those came at the same time. The injury is what led me to knowing, but I was already in the process of knowing it's time.
That it's time.
Yeah. So I had obviously we weren't married yet. I had spoken to my wife at that point, my fiance,
Mhm.
and I said, "Listen, I think it's time for me to." At first, I think I said slow down, but then I changed. And I was like, "Listen, I think it's time for me to leave." And she was great. Um, she was just like, "You do what you need to do." She came into this relationship knowing I was a wrestler. She came in knowing this was something I've been doing for so long. So she wasn't like, "Well, I want you to leave." No, she said, "I want you to leave when you want to leave." So like she
Right.
supported me with my whole decision this entire time. The second person I had spoken to, I believe, was my mother, and that was something that I spoke to my first tag part. Oh, I spoke to Malloy
Uh-huh.
actually. After speaking to Malloy, I said, "Listen, this is what's happening. Um, I'm ready to I'm ready to hang it up. Um, I've been wrestling with you since I was 17 years old. I mean, this is great. It's been one of the greatest times of my life." I said, "But it's time for me to go." Um, and he said, "Okay." And he was great. I mean, I really don't have anything bad to say about him. Like I said, I've known him since I was 17 years old, and I mean, like everyone, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have
Yeah.
this, you have that. But at the end of the day, me and him were both always there for each other. Wrestling. That's what brought us together. So I said to him what I said. We talked about a week later. He got back to me and he said, "This is what I think we should do." I said, "Okay." I gave him my ideas, he gave me his ideas, and we arrived at that. Um, and then he finally said to me, and he said, "I think we should end it here." And I said, "All right, whatever you want to do. However you want to book this, however you want to do this, you tell me. I'll show up. I'll do what you want." And that's how that goes. I can't I can't say, "Well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this." It's not my company. It's my friend's company that I've been friends with since I was 17.
Right.
So it was an honor to end my wrestling with him.
Okay. And you won the tag team championships as well.
Yeah, we won the tag team championships.
So now what happens to the titles?
Oh, I have no
Uh,
idea.
no idea?
I'm not. No, I don't. I don't have any idea what they're doing.
Okay.
I left, and Rage is gonna do what Rage does. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do.
Knowing him, he'll defend them all by himself.
Yeah, hey, Rage is a good dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he is.
If anyone can do it, it's him. But sadly I'm not in it, so I can't tell you what's gonna happen. I don't know who's gonna do what. I don't know. I'll be at the shows.
Okay.
I'm
So
not
you
gonna
still,
not be there.
all right. So I'll still see you.
But I'll be on the other side. You know, I'll be in the fans. I won't
Okay.
be in the locker room at this point anymore.
Any thoughts about like being a producer or anything like that?
I don't know. I'll I'll attack that when or if it comes up. I mean, at this point, I kind of want to just re-fall in love with the sport, re-fall in love with what I fell in love with initially. I fell in love with it initially because I was like, hey, I get to wrestle. I love wrestling. But now I fell in love with it as part of it. Now I can like sit back and I can fall back in love with the sport. I could sit there and I could watch and be like, oh, that was awesome, or oh, that was cool, or oh, I didn't expect that, and this and that. And it's like I could be a fan again. And I mean, you never stop being a fan,
Right.
but you stop being a fan, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Because now you're part of the business.
Yeah, so like you're part of the business, and it's just like, well, I can't be a fan when I'm in the business because I can't really explain that. I don't, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's hard to put that to words though.
It is hard to put it to words. I mean, the way I approach it, I'm still just a fan, and I sit there and I watch, and I act like I'm a fan because that's the best way to live it. Than to say,
oh, it definitely is.
well, this person did this wrong, or that person. Just enjoy the moments.
Yeah,
all that can come
great.
after the show. Hey, you need to do this better or that better, or whatever. You missed this, missed that. Just enjoy it in the moment and go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to think about because it's like, hey, I should have done this better, or hey, I should have done this better. However, you're the only person that knows you could have done better.
Right.
The people watching you don't know what could have been better. So it's like, and I am. You could ask anyone. I am my own worst critic. I'll watch my matches back and I'll be like, oh, I could have done that, or oh, that could have been better, and oh, that could have been better. But then I think to myself, it got over. it got a reaction.
Yeah.
So if it got the reaction, was it really not as good as I thought? Or is it just me being hard on myself?
You're your own worst critic, as what I've
and
noticed.
it's so hard. It's so hard to be your own critic and try to.
I do the same thing, man. I'm my own worst critic.
Absolutely, we all are.
That's 100%. All right, let's go to some comments. Jumbo Ref says, "How's the knee, brother?"
Oh, the knee's a lot better actually. It took probably about 4 or 5 months, maybe 6, to be completely 100%. But yeah, no, it's all good.
Okay,
No problems, no nothing. It's great.
Good. Serena says, "What's one piece of advice you would give to someone just starting out?"
Keep your eyes and ears open. Just take it all in. Don't be in the mindset that, well, I saw it done this way and I know how to do it, so I'm going to do it this way. Take the advice of everyone you're in the locker room with, whether they've been doing it for 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. Just advice. Keep asking people, hey, watch my match. Can you watch my match? Don't say watch my match. Don't ask them. Can you do me a favor and can you watch my match? Maybe take some critique, some positive feedback. Like, accept criticism. Like when I started, that was easily one of my worst things was criticism. I couldn't take criticism from certain people, and it was just like, shut the hell up. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it this way. I don't care what you say. And that was wrong, because none of us knew at that point. But that's just something you gain with experience. So just keep your eyes open. Okay. Shake everyone's hand. Be respectful.
Yeah, that's a big thing, man.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, it is. I know what you're talking about. All right, Cassie says you can drop it low now. I assume that's your wife.
That's my wife. Yeah.
We don't want to know. We don't know how long it's dropping, man.
As she's in the bedroom right now, laughing, and I hear her.
All right. Jordan says, "What was your favorite memory during your outstanding career?"
Oh my goodness.
And while you're thinking, Jumbo Ref says, "Amazing honor to ref your last match, brother."
Jumbo, I just yeah, man. There's been so many things between so many other refs and you and me and with SWA and ECPW, and it was great. I was glad you were part of my last match.
Before we go, let's just say how great of a
Wow.
job Jumbo Ref does.
Oh, Jumbo's great. He
You know what I'm
really
saying?
is.
He is. I love Jumbo Ref.
He's a fun ref. He's one of my favorite refs to win.
He's a good guy.
Him and Jim. Jim was awesome. I loved Jim to death.
I don't know Jim, but I know Jumbo. Jumbo's a good guy. So if you need to book Jumbo Ref, make sure you guys
Yeah.
are booking Jumbo
Book
Ref.
'em. Wow. So my favorite memory from Jordan.
Favorite
Oh,
memory during your whole career.
I can give you like top 4.
Let's do it.
I
Top
don't
4.
think I can give you 5. I don't think even give you 1. Let's go with when you turned on me, Jordan. ECPW. Easily one of my favorite storylines with in ECPW. Me and Jordan, or no, at that point it was Lucas Sane. He was Jay Wicked, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan. I believe he was Jay Wicked when he turned on me. I had just started working for the state, so I had to take a couple months off. So we figured out this way to where, I mean, Jordan wasn't really picking. He was doing well for himself, but he wasn't picking up the steam phenomenally yet at that point. We were still all so new to ECBW. So we wrote the angle where he was going to turn on me. He came in to save me and my partner, Zach. He hit him with the steel chair. And then he laid me out with the steel chair. I don't think I have ever been hit that hard before. I actually still have a bump on my head.
Really?
12 years ago. Yeah, from 12 years ago.
Yikes.
And I just said to him, swing. I can take it. You're good. We were in the back, and I said, listen, I want you to swing at me once, hit me, and then I wanted to take 2 shots and kind of fold on the second shot. And he hit me so hard the first time I buckled. I couldn't even stand. I buckled. And yeah. And I still have that chair actually. It's in my basement right now.
Do you?
So yeah. We signed it and everything, and I still have it.
Nice.
So that was fun. That was great. His turn, bad. I was still the good guy. I loved it. It was such an adrenaline rush. Yeah, my head hurt like hell for a couple days, but he really did it. I was out of work. I was out for 7 months, and then so I guess that might be my favorite ish time. One of my favorite moments at ECBW, which leads me to my second moment. My return to ECBW. Yeah, I know, babe. So the return to ECPW was, oh my goodness. I had been gone for 7 months. I was one of the crowd favorites. We kept it real secret that I was coming back. It was a 6-man tag match. Lucas Sane, which was formerly Jay Wicked, he changed his name to Lucas Sane when he turned. With 2 other people, I'm not positive who it was. I don't remember that much. With Zach and Robbie and a guest, which was me. They went out. All those went out. The other team went out. Zach and Robbie went out, and then my music hit. But I didn't use my normal music. I used something new that I used previous. But because me and Zach were partners, we were only using our tag music. So I used my personal music, and I came out, and the eruption I got from me making my return, I couldn't even hear the music.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't hear the music. I got in the ring, and as soon as I stepped on the second ropes to be like hooray, woohoo kind of thing,
Right.
all I remember hearing was "Welcome back,"
That's awesome.
and that just I started crying. I hadn't even done anything yet, and I was tearing because it was great. So that would probably be one of my second favorite times. I have a bunch of feuds with my partner Zach. Those were always fun. I remember power bombing him through a table and telling him I was going to bury him 6 feet under.
Uh-huh.
So that was fun. My mother's in the crowd listening to us and me telling me I'm going to bury him 6 feet under, and I'm screaming in his ear. That was fun. That would be that. I had a great time. We did a 6-man tag match, actually in SWA. Me, Zach, and Jordan as the as another faction, what we used to call the I think the Los Angeles Saints. I think. But it was
Los
just
Angeles Saints?
yeah, or something like that. I don't remember what we called ourselves, but it was me, Zach, and Jordan, and it was a lot of fun. We didn't do it much. We didn't do it long, but we did. We had like 2 or 3 matches. It was a lot of fun. So that was really cool teaming up with my 3 best friends. Feuding with my 3 with my 2 best friends, not 3, 2, sorry. And then me and Jordan also did a tag team called the Brony Club. That was his master child. It was something that he always wanted to do, and I wouldn't say he was scared to do it, but he didn't really have the courage to do it. And I said, fuck it. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I don't care. What do I have to lose? So I said, let's do it. So we made hot pink and purple tights. We came out to My Little Pony music, and we did it.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. You don't know what it's like to be a My Little Pony fan, with Jordan is. I'm not. But you don't know what it's like to come out as a My Little Pony wrestling gimmick and still get hated by the children. Like
That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was so much fun.
That is crazy.
Sounds
like fun.
Yeah, and then I think my my absolute favorite moment was finally doing the one thing that I've always set out to do, and that was to win the tag team championships. You know, I had 3 separate tag teams, and I finally was able to get it done. And I was able to get it done with Rage, and I was able to do it with Rage in a company that I've been wrestling for off and on since I was 17 years old. So it was a bittersweet. It was a bittersweet ending, and that might be one of my favorite moments, because I finally got to achieve something that I always wanted.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. Now, it's sad that you're not going to be wrestling anymore, but it's not going to be sad. You'll still be there at the shows, so that's good. But what was your best fan interaction throughout your whole career that you had?
Oh.
I'm sure there's a great fan interaction. And when you're done with that, answer me the best rib ever played on you.
Rib, huh? I don't see. I don't want to say I never got anything done to me, because I'm sure I did. However, I stayed to myself a lot. I didn't really put myself in the position to be near everyone. I would shake my hand. Hi, how you doing?
Mhm.
Hey, what's up? Oh, nice to meet you. Hi, Greg. How you doing, sir? It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you. Or the same to Brutus or Snuka or any of the people that we've met. All of the legends.
Right.
And once that happened, I just walked about my day because my mindset is, and I learned this from Johnny Ova when I was training with him.
Mhm.
You're in the wrestling business now. So when you're not in the wrestling business, you're like here, and people like John Cena are like here. But like when you're in the wrestling business, you're like he might be like higher, he might be well more known, but at the end of the day, we're all in the same business. So I always had the same mindset. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you. But I never went out of my way to mark out to them. I never went out of my way to be like, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you. Because they're just regular people
Right.
who wrestled on TV. So I kind of stayed in the mindset of they're my peers. So I didn't bum rush them. So I don't really think I got ribbed too many times.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I mean, I have a really funny story about my partner getting ribbed by Raven.
Oh man.
That was fun. He I don't remember what he said, but he said something joking around, and Raven was just like, "Get away. I don't even want you near me." And I mean, he was one of his bigger influences was Raven.
Wow.
So when Raven said that to him, he kind of like shut down. But I knew about it, and Jordan knew about it, and a couple other people knew about it,
Uh-huh.
and we just kept our mouth shut because it was like, I'm not gonna be out there telling you that Raven's doing this to you, because then it's gonna happen to me.
Right.
I'm not stupid.
Oh
So,
man.
so that was how that happened, and finally after I would say after like half an hour, Raven was like, "Hey, get your partner over here," and then he talked to him, and then like everything was good. But like it was just something small.
Nice.
It's like, oh man, I can't believe Raven ribbed me. Like,
That's a great story.
yeah, it was so much fun, man. I think Jordan was actually in the locker room with us that night too.
That's
So like
awesome.
favorite crowd reaction. Mm. Um, I want to say my favorite crowd reactions are probably when I was a heel.
Okay.
I was just always such an asshole, and it's not me. I mean, you know me.
Yeah. No,
I
you're nice.
just
You're a nice
I,
guy.
yeah, and like it's always fun being something you're not.
I think being a heel is tremendous fun.
Yeah, and it's always fun being something you're not. So I would walk out, and there would be like a family of little kids near there, being like, "Hooray! I'm so happy!" But I would have a mouthful of water. So they would go to reach out to me, and I would spit water in their face because I was an asshole.
Nice.
But like the little kids didn't understand that. So the second you did that to them, well, then they got pissed. But then their parents got pissed because, well, it's nasty. So then their parents get pissed for a whole other reason that they're getting pissed. So then you have everyone.
Oh man, I see somebody. See a lot of people spill water into places, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just it's cheap heat. It really is.
It's awesome.
I remember I met one of my best friends when I was a heel, actually, and we always joke about it. And I said to her, she was front row, and I said, "Shouldn't you be in the kitchen making me a sandwich?"
Oh,
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, I think she threw a soda can at me.
nice.
So that might be one of my fun reactions. That was a lot of fun. And we joke about that all the time because that's not me.
That's
But
not you. Nah, you're
no,
very nice.
definitely
calm
not.
and everything.
That was a lot of fun. And it was just great. I know I remember I did this one match I did this hardcore match with Zach actually. And this is when no, I was a bad guy in this match too actually. We did a match and we had like a long table. And the match before us was supposed to use it. They couldn't pull it off. And they I don't know if they forgot to use it or if it just didn't fit into like their plans or whatever. So me and Zach saw it and we're like, let's use it. We had chairs in the ring and we were gonna put the board on the chairs and do something. He was gonna put me on the top rope and hurricane me off the ropes through the table.
Right.
And I don't know if Jordan's here, but Jordan was actually part of this. But he was in the crowd.
Really?
Yeah. And I picked it up, and all I remember him hearing, and I don't hear people when I'm in the ring. I do, but I normally can't decipher everything that they're saying.
Right.
So I remember him saying, "It's not long enough. It's not long enough." It's Jordan. Hi, that's me. It's
me.
not long enough, and it wasn't long enough. I will say that now. I've always said to him, "Shut your mouth." It was long enough. It was always what I planned. It wasn't. Not long enough. So then I put it, instead of putting it on the seat, I put it on the backs of the chair, which made it long enough. So as I did it, it's not long enough. It's not long enough. Not long enough, and I put it down. All right, it's long enough. And that's what I remember. So then I don't know how I did it, but after I got onto the second rope, Zach went for a springboard Rana from the outside and hurricaned me off the top rope through the table. And that might have been the first holy shit chant we got, I think, ever.
Shit.
And it echoed through where we were. It was great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. So that was a really fun moment too.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, it's been great.
It's been a fun ride.
So many times where there's just so many great moments that I have.
Well, Mason, I want to thank you for coming on and being on the podcast. But I would hope that you would come back and co-host with me on some SWA stuff.
Yeah, man, I'd love to do that.
Awesome. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Oh, geez. Well, I have a Mason Shadows Facebook. I haven't really updated it much, but if I'm doing stuff now from here and there, I'll probably update more. But it's on Facebook, Mason Shadows X. I don't really do Twitter or any of that. I don't have any kind of Instagram with it, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's really it. The only other thing that I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start gaming more, and possibly streaming some stuff. So
awesome.
That's kind of in a work right now, and that's about it.
Everybody be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Also, make sure you check out the next SWA show coming September 6th. Make sure you go to SWA, actually, SuffolkWrestlingAlliance.com to get your tickets. Look at that, a tag team challenge. The Graveyard Disciples takes on the Organizations. That SWA Knuckle Up coming Friday, September 6th. Get your tickets now. As for me, this Saturday, I'm going to be hanging out at NYWC's Trust No One as Amity LaVey takes on Jasmine Hayo on July 20th. Yikes.
She's a pisser.
Amity is crazy. She tried to attack me with some pliers, right?
Well, of course she did.
Of course she did. You also don't want to miss out Cooper Valentine as he takes on Georgia Lawrence for that Fusion Championship in a steel cage.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait to see that.
It's going to be a good one. Also, my pal Jorge La Bestia versus my other pal, Mr. Main Event Sal Sabelli, this Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets, nywcprowrestling.com. Check it out, as well as my latest vlog up on my YouTube channel. And the bodyguard I had at that time, he's terrible, man. He's terrible. You may recognize him on the right.
A little bit, yeah.
So terrible. But anyway, Mason, hold on for a second. Everybody else, have a great night, and we will be back tomorrow with Ruby Devlin coming on at 6 o'clock. Now the order might be a little off, but Rick Savage at 9.
Ooh.
And Demo Diamond at 7. That's tomorrow. It's gonna be a long night for me. I don't even want to talk about it. Everybody, see y'all.